What's up, BMX nerds? Welcome back to another episode of Kanode Knows. This week on the show, Kelly Bolton. Kelly invented the Fakey to front flip, the wall ride to barrel roll, the Fakey tail whip downstairs. And there's still so much we didn't cover, but I had to wrap it up and keep it 2 hours. I will be having Kelly back on again, so get excited for that. If you were into BMX from maybe 2007 to 2018, you heard Kelly Bolton's name all over all the time, and it's a trip that I never really talked to him until just now. So he's been like one person away from me for a decade, and it was a treat to get to know him a little bit and hear his story. And boy, like the amount of shit that he's done, it would take 4 podcasts to fill up. So we'll have him back on, maybe 2 extra episodes to talk about all the stuff. He's a hell of a human being and a good example, I think, for younger people who are into BMX to keep in mind of, if you want to have a nice solid life, there's much more to life than BMX. Please like the video, share the show with a friend, subscribe to the channel, and I appreciate you guys listening. Here's Kelly Bolton.
Why is your name Kanode Knows? You don't know shit.
No.
Hello, Kelly Bolton. What's up? Welcome to Kanode Knows, dude.
What's up, Bobby? How's it going, dude?
We were just talking briefly. Have we ever spoken before? It feels like I know you just because of BMX.
It really does, dude. It feels like we've just crossed paths sometime in the past.
Yeah.
But I just honestly can't tell.
We must have been at an event or something together at some point.
Has to be.
Yeah.
If we didn't talk, we were there at the same time. So
yeah, exactly. And KB BK. What's up?
Right. That's right. Good combo.
I was talking with Boy, and I was trying to get him to come on yesterday, and he said, "You got to talk to that Kelly Bolton." His text is funny. He's calling you he's like, just hearing it in Boy's terms, calling that food so interesting. Like hearing him say "foo," I was like, "Let's go." I think he says, I think he became part owner of LAX using his graphic designing and filming to wheedle himself in. Then I don't know. The whole project seems to be at a standstill now because of this. There's no real owner of LAX, so now it's in limbo and shelved. Over 15 years of LA Riders footage.
Yeah.
What's up with LAX?
Well, okay, so LAX really just started because we were a crew all from LA, and the main dude, Tyler, he's like our filmer. He filmed a whole bunch of stuff for us, like me, kind of growing up. We became friends years and years ago, way before I was riding BMX professionally or anything like that. And so he lived right by LAX. I mean, you could literally see the planes from his house just taking off. So he just wanted to start something. He wanted to start something in the LA and the scene. And we started just filming all the time so I could use stuff for sponsorships or whatever videos that I needed footage for. And then we would just go out with our crew, and everyone was throwing down. So we're let's do something about it, let's make something. And I don't know, we just wanted to make shirts and wanted to, just kind of create a little scene. I think LA has been an interesting place because, there's a lot of people that come through, but there really hasn't been too much homegrown type stuff from LA. It's a very weird deal, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we just got all the LA dudes together all the time, and we would just go ride, and we just filmed it, and we started filming for a full-length video, like Boy said, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think when we started filming that video, that was probably 2012. So let's see. Yeah, 2012, maybe 2010, we started filming stuff. And then really, I just used it as a way to be with my friends and hang out.
Yeah.
I obviously love filming clips, but I'm not really filming clips to, I don't know, I get sponsored, right? You know what I mean? I was just filming because I love to ride and I love to push myself. And I'm not trying to necessarily be someone I'm not, I guess. And I just really wanted to be out there with friends. And so
you're saying you ride to enjoy it? Here's my dance comp ad that ChatGPT just wrote. You know that feeling when your bike's dialed, the sun's out, and you've got nowhere to be but the session? That's what dance comp is all about. Everything you need for BMX in one place. Whether you're trying to build your dream setup, replace the pedal you snapped last weekend, or just browse parts you probably don't need but definitely want, Dance Comp's got you covered. They've been keeping BMX riders rolling for decades. Frames, tires, bars, helmets, shoes, tools, all the stuff that makes our bikes look good and ride even better. Plus, they ship fast, their prices are solid, and they actually ride, so they know what's up. So before your next session, hit dancecomp.com. Grab what you need and support the shop that's been holding it down since day one. That's dancecomp.com. Use promo code Kanode and get 15% off. That might have been the most professional dance comp ad I've ever done. All right, back to the show.
Yeah, crazily, right? Like, I actually love riding, so
that's wild, bro. I can't relate.
And like, you know, I sure there's moments there where maybe I did something I might not have done because we were filming for it, but that's what I loved, right? I loved pushing myself, and so if the camera was out, I was like, okay, let's do this because I really do want to do this thing. I'm a little scared of it, but you know, I can actually make it happen, and the camera just helps like give you a little bit of a push to do it.
Fuck yeah, the no fun gun pushes people to their
I know, and I hate that term, to be honest with you. Like some of the people like in our crew call it no fun gun, and they can't land shit when it comes out. I'm just like, oh, man, like
it makes me feel like shameful when I bust it out and somebody calls it the no fun gun. I'm like, well, shit, sorry for ruining fun. I want to film.
Yeah, and I'm okay. Like, and I mean, the coolest thing, like especially with Tyler, is like he's super down, and he would spend hours filming with me. You know, like if I had a trick that I wanted to try and it took me 2 hours to do it, he's down. So
is this Tyler? No. What's Tyler's last name?
Miles.
Yeah.
Keep going. You'll find him soon.
Tyler is Mexican?
No, Tyler is Asian, actually.
Asian.
Yeah.
Well, that's just me being racist. And Tyler's got dark skin.
His full name is Tyler Fuji.
Damn.
So,
Tyler
Fuji. Look at that. Check it out.
Fucking 2014, baby. Let's go. 14. That's crazy. I'm trying to go back to like the beginning of LAX, and I just came across that.
That's the thing is like Tyler rides, right? But Tyler doesn't film himself. So like Tyler's right there in the jersey, 23.
Yeah. I've definitely seen Tyler, and I know him, and like I just don't know his last name.
You can see the back of his head.
I can't believe I asked if Miles was him. That's embarrassing. Shout out Tyler. Sorry.
Sorry. Yeah, Tyler rides. There he is again in the hat. Yeah, right there.
Oh,
so boy. Yeah, I shot that photo actually.
Hell yeah. It's funny to hear Boy talk about like ownership of LAX. I'm like, is there paperwork? Is this like an LLC?
No, it's not a real company. It doesn't do anything. It's just a group of friends that had fun, and we wanted to make shit. And like I had access to like screen printing and you know, obviously me making graphics and doing all that stuff. That's like kind of where that stemmed from. And you know, I mean, like I was way back in the day. Like, look, that's my wife actually.
Yeah. Way back in the day, 2012. That's
2012,
crazy,
dude. Yeah,
I watched your day in the life today that Nate Richter made, and seeing behind the scenes of your life, maybe I don't know, 10 years ago, and I was like, that's a good life. It's crazy.
Yeah, man. I was living in Westchester at the time. Like, yeah, it's good. I had my my old Cutlass Supreme. The car was sick.
Where? Let's see.
Well, it was just
in the video. Yeah,
in the video, but.
Yeah. All right, so LAX started in 2012.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, we were filming again like before that, and we were stacking clips, and I think we just got enough clips together to where we were like, let's maybe do something, and then I think I have over an hour of footage.
Let's go.
So, you know, I'm waiting on Tyler.
One man DVD.
He'll get it together eventually, and then it'll be like a legacy DVD, right? Like you'll see me grow up in the shots.
Mm-hmm. That's
short hair.
That's a beautiful thing, because I don't know. It'll never get old. There's like footage from, you know, like 1235, for example, Malouf's video is like really overdue, but no such thing overdue. When it comes out, it'll be special and timeless.
No, I mean, you know, like people definitely have done things on spots that we found or we first to film on, or you know, whatever. And you know, for most of us, we're like, they're casual riders. Like they're really, obviously, like a lot of the guys are really good that we ride with at LAX, but most of them are casual. They're not professional. So when they do go down for a clip and then somebody comes in and swoops it out from them, you know what I mean? They're kind of pissed about it, especially because it's been so long. It's like, how can you really keep clips like, you know, fresh from that far away, especially when a lot of people come and film on the same spots. And if you're going to do a feeble hard 180 on a spot, it's probably going to be done by someone else again. You know
Absolutely,
what I mean?
yeah. Especially in LA, dude. That's
In
where
LA,
the feeble hard 180 became like super popular. Shout out boy and E-Man.
That's right. They were doing, both ways. I still can't do opposite ones. So
I'm trying to think. I don't think I've ever done an opposite one. That's out of my wheelhouse. Even the regular way is like a stretch for me. But
yeah, I mean, obviously you get it after a while. It's more of a finesse trick than I think muscle.
Right.
I always try to muscle it because I'm like a bigger muscly type rider.
Damn it, dude.
So yeah, just try to fucking rip it out, but you know.
What? So speaking of that, Jock, you know, what is your background? Let's hear the Kelly Bolton story, dog. Did you play high school sports? Who are you in your heart?
Well, I started. I come from a bike riding family, so like my dad is a wild man, right? So he's crazier than I am. He's been in more accidents than I am, more injuries than I've had. You know, he's
no shit.
Oh yeah, he's wild. But he used to race motorcycles, so he would race road bikes, dirt bikes. He's a desert kind of rider. He's from Lancaster, so that's like out in the desert. And anyways, like growing up, I always had him to do stupid stuff for me, you know, and show me what not to do.
But
we're a bike riding family, and so I started by just riding out in the front yard, jumping curbs, watching my dad do stuff. And then
where?
I grew up in Venice Beach, so born and raised in Venice Beach. And then my parents split up when I was really young, like 1 year old.
Okay.
My dad ended up going out to like Gardena. So that was like kind of off Crenshaw, kind of out towards the hood a little bit. And so when I go to my dad's house, we'd stay there. And then when I was at my mom's house, we were in Venice. And Venice for me was like big on skate. Skate culture was huge, right? Yeah. So in Venice, I would skate. And at my dad's, I'd ride bikes. And so like I had kind of a culture shift, I guess you could say. Like one place was one thing, the other place was the other thing.
That's pretty cool.
I didn't even have a skateboard at my dad's house. You know what I mean? It was literally just motorcycles and bicycles.
Yeah.
And we raced BMX. So my dad raced with me. He raced like cruiser class, you know, like 40-year-old cruisers. And he's like hyper competitive. So he was like, I'm winning this class. Like I'm going to all the races. We're going to do this thing. And I'm more like, I just want to like chill and have fun and jump and like, you know, be with my friends. And I remember one race we went to, I was just jumping the whole time and he was practicing starts, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This kind of thing.
The polar opposite mindsets of like, I'm going to fucking win or I'm just having fun, man.
Yeah, exactly. Like he was kind of mad if he didn't win, you know, where I'm like, well, I gave it my best try. That's cool. Like, but yeah, so that was awesome to have a riding dad, right? Like,
yeah, that's pretty rare.
And, we raced downhill mountain bikes in the 90s. So like 95 to like 99, 2000, we raced downhill mountain bikes. So like Snow Summit, Mammoth. My dad did the world championships in Canada 1 year.
Damn.
Got fourth in the world for Vet Pro.
What the fuck?
Pretty rad.
Yeah, that's so rad. What the fuck? How old are you? How old were you in 1995?
I'm 40 now.
So you're a baby. You were doing downhill racing at like 10? That's insane.
Yeah. So I was 10 and we were racing downhill mountain bikes back then. And that was like peak downhill mountain bike era, dude. I mean, this is like you had Sean Palmer and all these dudes that were like gnarly and it was huge. It was massive. And then
with like the massive forks, like 10-inch travel. I don't know the measurements or whatever, but that was also what I got first into was like I watched Rome and Darren Bearclaw and Cam McCall and all those people. Like Yeah, that's a different thing. I don't know
Yeah,
if they're downhill, but whatever.
it was fun. It was cool. I really enjoyed riding, and I just like honestly, I enjoyed being up in the mountains,
Yeah.
being by lakes and stuff. Like that
With
was
your
pretty
dad,
cool.
like
Yeah,
that's fucking sick. Are
yeah.
you an
that
only
was-
child?
No, I have two sisters. So I have a full blood sister, and then I have a half sister, or sorry, a stepsister. But we honestly, like I'm saying right now, it's like so hard because we've never been apart. Like I said, my parents split up when I was really young, so I know nothing besides having two sisters. But when my dad got into the next relationship, she already had a kid, and so that was my sister Crystal. So
Nice. Shout out Crystal.
Shout out Crystal, yeah. My other sister Erin. Shout out Erin.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, one full blood sister and then the other stepsister.
Okay, so we're downhilling,
and we're downhilling.
Officially racing? Like, did you any notable wins or anything?
No. I mean, I was 10, like 12 years old. You know, like I was just trying to do it. We didn't really have a lot of money. You know, we're fairly, I'd say like lower middle class, you know, like I think Venice Beach growing up was pretty rough back then, you know, in the 80s and 90s. Venice Beach was different than it is today. It's a much, I don't know, it's a much more expensive place now.
Yeah.
I think the way that I described it back then was like, if you ever watched like Point Break, like the original one, it's like those punk guys that lived in that like kind of trap house situation.
Yeah,
that's what Venice was.
No shit. Okay.
Yeah, Venice was like a hippie, druggy, beachy like community.
Yeah.
A little white trashy, you know. But yeah, so we didn't have a lot of money, so like I didn't really have the best bikes, you know. I didn't really have good parts. I remember borrowing a family friend of ours that raced downhill. I borrowed their daughter's bike to ride.
Nice.
Because she had a better bike than I did.
Yeah.
So I borrowed her bike to race downhill on and do stuff. And it was cool, you know. And like I said, my dad was really competitive in it. So he kind of like, you know, it was his show. I was just along for the ride and racing too. And I don't think I ever won any downhill stuff or anything like that. I did have some pretty good crashes though. I knocked myself out once when I was like 12, and that was pretty scary.
Welcome to the big leagues, son.
Yeah. Welcome to the big leagues for sure. So, but you know, again, my dad's gnarly dude. So that was like, I fell and he's like, get up, you know?
Oh yeah.
It was a very 80s childhood, right? Like,
damn, I can't even imagine that. Like I have such a soft upbringing, dad, compared to that. Like my parents wouldn't let me get on anything with a motor, and you better, you know, not try backflips on the trampoline type thing. Like it's
my dad definitely kept me away from motocross.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
Okay.
He was
smart.
Like I said, he's a desert dude. So we rode motorcycles my whole life too. Like, so when I was 8 years old, we would go and ride motorcycles, but this is like a 4 times a year type thing, right? We'd go to Glamis and ride the sand dunes or whatever. And my dad was like the type of guy, he's like, I just want to go 80 miles that way. See what's on top of that hill. Let's go to that other hill and check out over there, you know? And when I was like, Dad, can we go to a track? I want to ride a track and try jumps and stuff. Cause this is the time we were racing BMX, right? So I'm like, I want to do that, but on a motorcycle.
Right.
And I personally, from growing up, had always wanted to race motorcycles. I always wanted to race Supercross, be Jeremy McGrath, you know, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And he pretty much was like, nah, we're not. I mean, financially, it was a no already.
Yeah.
Right?
But then physical safety too.
And safety too. Yeah. He knew the deal. You know, he knew it's very dangerous. And he also knew that you might not make a living off of it, right? You might just be a privateer your whole life and struggling and getting injured. And then what's after that?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
He understood, and you know, he kept me away from the motocross stuff, but we definitely rode motorcycles and rode off-road and went through the desert and did all that stuff. So I still got it a little bit, but I don't know. So
that's very cool.
Guess racing was in the blood, right? Racing was the base of everything.
Bike control.
Yeah, bike control. I knew nothing about freestyle, to be honest with you. Like, it's
until when?
Until I
What was your
had
first taste of freestyle?
freestyle. Well, first taste was definitely like Rad, the movie.
Okay. No
You know,
shit.
that was the first time I ever saw anyone backflip. I
Nice.
I thought it couldn't be done. You know what I mean? Like I was
Yeah.
like, this is an impossible trick. Like it can't backflip. And so that was the first time I saw that. And then I started like seeing some magazine stuff, you know, every once in a while. But my first like real introduction to like, I guess street riding or like freestyle, and that was Barney. Yeah,
Nice.
like Maron and Barney, the two dudes that were like local to our area. I think this is when I had to be 12 or 13. And I just learned about pegs, you know, and I'm like trying to put pegs on my race bike and I'm bending axles, just
Classic.
barely hopping onto a ledge. And then I'm thinking to myself, like, how are these guys doing this stuff? You know, like I see people grinding rails. Like, what is this? Like, how can I do that without bending my axles? And
Yep. That's funny. I bet that's
so
like so
clueless.
kid. That's very like that's every kid that has a race bike, but wants to get. That's amazing.
Yeah. So I basically did that, and then I remember I was grounded for some stupid thing, probably grades. I got grounded for grades a lot. It's bad in school. And I convinced my dad because they had built these like ramps at the Redondo Performing Arts Center parking lot. They had built like a ramp set up and you could go ride it. Like kids could go ride it. They had it open for people. And I was grounded at the time. I'm like, Dad, I have to go. Like, I have to do this.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, I'll let you go over there, you know, because this is like a one-time thing. And I think that's something that doesn't really get talked about a lot, but there were no skate parks in LA. There were no skate parks at all. We didn't have any of that stuff. It was really hard to find anything to ride that was a ramp.
This is late 90s.
Yeah, I guess like, let's see. Yeah, this is 99 probably.
That's crazy to think about because when I think of California, and I'm sure other people think about it, it's like skate park paradise, you know?
Yeah, I mean there were ramps for sure. But we drove all the way out to like Real Ride in Riverside, and I'm talking like this is West Coast, so very on the coast, South Bay type stuff. You know, Redondo, Hermosa, Torrance, all of that area didn't have a park.
It's wild.
We never had a skate park over there. And the first skate park to come in was in Hawthorne. So Hawthorne Skate Park was like the very first one. But anyways, like, so that's why I was so psyched about the ramps, right? I was like,
yeah,
this is it. Like, this is like my time to shine. And when I went over there, I saw Barney and Maron, and they were grinding stuff and stalling on like they doing like ledge stalls and all this stuff. And I'm like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
No idea. Boom, yeah, exactly. Like exploded my brain. Like, what the heck is this? So I think I just like got really into it from there. And I had a family friend that was also racing BMX, and they got really into like dirt jumping and like East Coast dirt jumping. So like my first technically BMX video besides Rad was Seek and Destroy.
No shit. All right.
Yeah, I was like, okay, so then I'm like influenced by East Coast trail riders, right? Like from a really pretty young age. I raced mountain bikes, I raced BMX, and then we just rode trails. Like we had trails in the marina in Marina Del Rey. We dug there and rode trails there. We went out to the valley and rode like these trails called Roscoe's, horse trails and Simi Valley trails. Like we were just trail riders based on racing, right? That was the next step, is just riding trails. And then I saved up and got a freestyle bike. I told like my whole family every Christmas, I was like, I just want a new bike. I just want a freestyle bike.
Yes.
You know, Alex triple wall rims, like give those to me.
Damn, Alex triple walls. I forgot about those. That's crazy.
Triple wall. I mean, I wanted everything as heavy as possible, right?
Yeah.
Triple walls. I wanted profile SS cranks, you know, like I wanted everything so strong because of those like incidents I told you about where I'm bending the axle. I'm like, I don't want anything to bend.
Yes, exactly. Man,
And
that's
so,
funny. That's a whole era. So
yeah.
this is like through high school, I
Yep.
imagine, like going
Yep.
riding trails. Shout out Barney, by the way. That's fucking awesome to hear.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Crazy
and
to think
then
of
like,
his origin stories. Barney's got the presence of like he's always been around, you know?
he's a legend, bro. He's like, seriously, he's literally the West Coast guy. Like,
Yeah.
he's the legend. And I didn't talk to him. Like, don't mind you.
Yeah,
He
you
didn't
just
know who I was. He didn't even
yeah.
know I was there. Like, I did not speak words to him. I watched him from afar.
Hell yeah.
And then I started getting more into like the freestyle and getting videos through friends, you know what I mean? And then that kind of, it really just took off for me. And then, that was actually a point to where me and my dad's riding relationship split.
No
You
shit.
know? Yeah, because he's a racer and he only understands racing. He
Yeah.
didn't understand freestyle and jumping. He's like, he didn't necessarily get it.
Like you're wasting your fucking time.
Kind of, yeah. And also it's dangerous, of course. And he understands this, of course, because he's had his own deals and surgeries and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So he was supportive for sure. Like he drove us out to a real ride, like he went to make it happen. But I don't think he really understood tricks, and all that stuff. Like it just wasn't in his wheelhouse to like get it. So we kind of just like split off there because I started riding street with friends, right? I'm doing sprocket stalls on a ledge at the park,
Yes, dude. It's funny, dude. I like sprocket stalls looks and feels so cool when you like that was one of the first things I played around with like on a local bench. And I was like, that's so fucking sick. Do you remember like your first couple of tricks that you started learning? Like
definitely X-ups, like X-ups on dirt, like on jumping stuff were for sure like one of the first. When I was really young, we used to we would drive down like Hawthorne Boulevard all the way to the beach, like the coast. Essentially, it's like it's PV. So I don't know, what do you call it? What's PV called?
Paradise Valley?
No. It's like on the coast. Yes, Palos Verdes. So we'd go down to Palos Verdes and right like where Trump Golf Course is now and all this stuff, there used to be jumps down there. Sick. And so you'd go down, you'd have a beach view and you'd have jumps and trails to ride and all this stuff. And this is probably even when I was younger. I mean, this is like when we were entering like racing downhill. So I must have been 8, 9. And that's when I did a first 1-footer. Stuck the foot out, did the 1-footer, and I was like, oh my God. Did a 1-footed one-hander one time and hit my tooth on the crossbar and chipped my tooth. That was a wild place. I think one memory I have from there is there was down to the coast, like where the cliffs are, there was a trail that was called the roller coaster, and it would just go over these like huge hills, and you would just keep dropping and riding over the tops. And if you went fast enough, you could jump the top,
Yeah.
And I remember going down with my dad one day, and he jumps the top of one, and I'm right behind him, and he just endos all the way to the bottom, dude. Explodes at the bottom. And he was knocked out cold. And I'm like, I probably had like 10.
Dad, wake up.
Dad, are you okay? Like, I mean, this is a bad knockout. So this was like snoring. Like he's doing the convulsion type thing.
Shit, that's scary as hell.
It freaked me out, dude. I was freaked out. I was definitely like worried because I had seen it before with other riders that we were around and stuff. And I had seen people get knocked out before, but not my own dad in front of me. And no one was there, just us, me and him. And so he finally came to and woke up a little bit and obviously did the whole knockout thing, repeat yourself 500 times. I remember when Magura brakes were brand new, they were like the oil like disc brakes, and all we had was cable brakes before that. and he was really pissed because the cables ripped out and the oil was like squirting.
Oh, yeah, them kits were expensive too.
And they were very expensive,
Yeah.
yeah. So he got really mad because he ripped his brakes out.
That's
And
like actually kind of traumatizing. I feel like watching your own dad at 10 years old too.
Yeah,
That's
it was
pretty
tough
crazy.
for sure. I was like, because it was really just the convulsions while you're unconscious thing that really freaked me out. I didn't understand that, and because I had watched him crash, you know what I mean? Like he's crashed before in front of me. It's no big deal. But that time was pretty gnarly.
Yeah, for real.
And then we had to call someone to come help because he actually broke his collarbone in that same crash. Yeah, but like I said, he's a gnarly dude, so he just took it in stride.
Shout out Papa Bolton. That's
Papa
wild.
Bolton. I've watched him do a lot of stupid stuff, so it kept me from doing the same mistakes.
Yeah. What about back
was
then?
one of them.
It's interesting to hear people's perspective on helmets. Was that part of the game? You got to imagine, especially if you're a kid, you got to have a helmet on, right?
Yeah, we wore helmets. I think we didn't wear helmets when we were riding out front of the house.
Yeah,
jumping stuff. You know, my dad would make me little like log ramps, you know, like with a piece of wood, and I'd just jump into the grass in the front yard.
Yeah, I think
that was awesome.
Fucking A. Yeah, like back then, dude, it's like even when you mentioned the 1-footer thing, it makes me think to the local neighbor homie Evan, who like in our little montage we made with my mom's video camera doing like we're slow motioning just a one-hander, and it's like the sickest shit, you know? Like it's easy to be old and jaded at this point. But
yeah, we were just riding today. We went out to like Sopwee, the bike park over here in Thousand Oaks. And we were just riding with a crew, like an old school crew. And we were talking about that same thing, like remembering when the first time you ever tried to double peg a ramp.
Yeah.
Like a quarter pipe, like not knowing the lean or, you know what I mean? And it was hard. It was a struggle.
For real.
And I feel like I tried to keep that with me too, my whole career. So like when I saw a young new kid at the park learning something, I try to remind myself of when I felt that way too.
Yeah.
And now, you know, it's obviously clockwork and you just do it like nothing and it's easy. But I remember when it wasn't, you know?
Yeah. And I think like all of us older riders kind of sometimes it's easy to take it for granted that you like learned this thing for at least a decade. And so it feels like, you know, just normal. But the barrier to entry is crazy. Yeah. Insane.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
So we're going through high school. I'm curious about like your first exposure to, I guess, the industry or getting sponsored or even video. I guess more specifically, what's the first time you got filmed doing tricks?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think, okay, so like in high school, we had a couple friends that were riding. Like I said, I had known about Barney and Mirra, but I didn't talk to them yet. They were older than me, you know? So we had a little crew in high school that rode. My buddy Jeff in Manhattan Beach, because this time my dad had moved from Gardena and we moved to Redondo Beach. So we're like the redheaded stepchild of Manhattan Beach. You know what I mean? Like we didn't have that much money, but we were okay. I got to go to like Manhattan Beach school. Anyways, my buddy Jeff had ramps in his backyard. And after I got my freestyle bike and pegs and all that stuff, we like just started getting to it in the backyard, like started learning everything, ice picks, like double pegs. And we started going out to like Orange County a lot. And so when Van Skate Park opened at the block at Orange, like that was huge for everybody. Like, and this is like right when parks just started getting made around like in different towns and areas. So there was like Fullerton Skate Park, you know, we'd go right there all the time. And that's where I met Vish and all these other dudes, you know, like way back in the day. I mean, this is before any of us thought of any sort of sponsorship or professional riding or working for a company.
Yes.
But you know who was always around? Robbie. Always around, you know, like, I mean, shoot, like he's known us since we were kids, man. It's crazy to see him. I just saw him at the Ditch Jam in Long Beach, the Yes Bikes Jam. And it's just so funny. Like seeing him now after all these years, you know, like
Yeah, and then flashback to that's like 20 plus years ago.
that is
Well,
20.
yeah. What was it like seeing? What was it like meeting Robbie? Had you known? Because at that point, like he's pretty, you know, big in the game. No.
Yeah, he was still riding a lot back then too. But this was the fit era. So everyone was, you know, rocking Mike Aiken stuff and trying to be stylish, and everyone in Orange County had a fit no matter what.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I was riding a DK SOB.
DK SOB. Let's see.
Yeah, it's a Colin Winkleman's signature frame. Colin was definitely a huge inspiration of mine. Rad dude. But he, you know, because like I would see more the stuntman type stuff from Colin. Like, do you remember when he jumped over all those boats and cars in the desert? Yes. So like that, dude, that was like right up my wheelhouse. I was like, this is insane. I need to do something like this.
Yes. Where is it?
It's so wild.
No, that's the tiniest picture of all time.
It is the tiniest
that's no good.
When you look at him, he's a freaking ant and above all these cars and boats, and
that's crazy.
It's nuts. Yeah.
R.I.P. Hot diggity.
Yeah. R.I.P. Man.
So this is the SOB right here.
Yep. So I got that was my first like freestyle bike, was a DK SOB, and I was like so hyped on Colin, and I just wanted to rock it. And of course, it was like the beefiest frame ever.
Yeah, that looks like a big.
And I rocked that thing for, dude, it had to be 7 years, 8 years. Like I said, we didn't really have much money, so I wasn't buying bikes. I wasn't buying parts. I'd get hand-me-down parts. Like my buddy Jeff, dude, he would hand me everything. If I broke spokes, it'd be like, here you go, dude, here's some spokes. If like I broke a pedal, it's like, okay, here's something. I got an extra pair of pedals. Like, so it was always hand-me-down stuff for me.
What about working on your bike? Was that something you got into, or did you like? Because some people I feel like take to it and then nerd out and kind of really work on their bike, and other people like myself just kind of take it to the bike shop. Please help me, sir.
I don't think I ever really nerded out on building bikes or working on bikes, but I definitely have mechanical skills and I can work on bikes. And I worked on motorcycles too, so we did like top ends and motors and stuff. And my dad walked me through all that. And
so then bikes are nothing. Yeah,
we always had a shop. Like my dad always had tools. He always had a full garage with bike stands and everything. Like you could loop chains and do all the things you needed to do. And he had all the tools.
Man, I would have been over at your house a lot. That's cool.
Yeah. No, friends definitely came over a lot to work on their bikes because and also we had like, you know, like an air pump, like it's like, you know, like a compressor. So it's like, oh, pull some grips off. It's just like
so easy,
right? And so that was awesome to have tools in a garage that I could use. So I definitely worked on my bikes, but I would say my bikes were always pretty like rickety, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like they were being held together by like tape and wire. And just because, you know, again, I didn't have the means to go buy new parts all the time.
But filming, when was the first time you got filmed?
Okay, so filming. First time was in Orange County. We made a little like company called Zodiac Bike Co.
All right, Zodiac Killer, let's go.
We started filming like it was, who is it? It was a couple of dudes. It was all Orange County crew. I remember there was this crew called G Troop out there. Shout out to G Troop and all those dudes. Those are like the older crew out there, and we wanted to be like just like them. So we created Zodiac. My buddy Kenny Spalding, he actually took that company and now has Zodiac Engineering. So it's Zodiac ENG, and he does all this machining, like parts machining and stuff. And
sick. So the crew lived on.
Yeah, it lived on, and he still has his company now, and it's called Zodiac ENG. It's like, it's so cool. But we made a video, VHS.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. We were copying VHS from like 2 decks, you know what I mean? Like one to the other. And I remember I made that, and like everyone was just so stoked, like to see themselves on a TV screen. Back then it was like
Crazy.
amazing.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's when I really was like, oh my God, I love filming. I love actually not only filming myself or like getting filmed riding, but I love to film. I love to make videos.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I did video production class at school and I wanted to like do that like for a living essentially. And so, yeah, that was like the first entry into that. And then I would say like the first time I ever got coverage or anything like that was probably at one of those like San Diego jams, one of those contests at Claremont. Like
Okay.
I got some photos, and I remember when Vital BMX also first started.
Yeah.
Kyle Carlson hit me up, and I think Sam Adams shot the photos for that. But I was like one of the first ever interviews on Vital BMX.
I wonder if it still exists. I just recently, like, Vital got taken down recently.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, it goes, Vital BMX goes to Vital MTB now. That's crazy.
MTB, yeah. Yeah, because they had everything. They had Vital MX, they had Vital MTB, and Vital BMX. So
yeah,
they were split up into like all the different sports.
So that's funny. Your first taste of the industry is Kyle Carlson, basically, and mine too. Like,
yeah, I mean, in some ways, like like for the industry coming to me saying, "Hey, Kelly, do you want to do this thing?"
Hey, Kelly, we want to do this thing. Fucking
yeah, that's Kyle that said it like that. But I mean, I was around, so like again, having Robbie around, so we were there in the fit days, so we'd see some pro riders. Nate Morshan was always around, and then anyone that would really just ride Van Skate Park, we saw them there, and so we were like just viewing it from afar, right? Like I didn't talk to any of the guys back then, and Robbie I would talk to every now and then, but it was more like a big brother type. He'll rough you up and wrestle you, or like put you in a headlock and go, "How you doing?" Yeah. And yeah, so I'd say the first time I was ever reached out to for me, my riding or whatever, was Kyle.
And then what about sponsorships? Like, when does a sponsor come into the picture?
Sponsorship came, I guess, before that, essentially before that Vital interview. The way that I ended up getting sponsored was I was riding a lot with Adam Banton at the time. Shout out to Ban. We were riding because he lived in Culver City, and so I was in Mar Vista area at the time, and so we rode a lot together. And I remember my buddy Jared was working at Fullerton Bike Shop, and I was riding that SOB, and all my friends were like, "You have to stop riding this frame. You're on American bottom bracket, and everybody's on like Spanish now or something."
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. And so Jared hooked it up and got me a premium frame.
Nice.
Yeah, that was awesome. So then I put an end to the SOB finally. And so another hookup hand-me-down, right? I couldn't pay for that frame myself. So they ended up figuring out a way to get me that frame and get me the bottom bracket so I can put all my parts on it and stuff. And
so now we're repping the shop. Is that how that works?
No, not necessarily. I think it was, I don't know. I think statute of limitations are over, but it might have been a backdoor special. And Fullerton Bike Shop never really sponsored anyone or like asked for like coverage or stickers on your bike, or it wasn't really like that kind of a shop.
Okay.
But then I think, what was I saying? I think we were talking about, okay. Yeah. So I was riding with Ban, right?
Yes.
Me and Ban are riding all the time. I cracked my premium frame, had a big crack right in the back on the chainstay. And so he's like, let me see what I can do. Cause he's riding for Eastern. And so he called up Lee Ramsdale and asked Lee if he could get me a frame. And so, he's like, who is this guy, whatever, and wanted to know more about me. And so he's like, all right, cool, like let's hook him up with a bike. And so they hooked me up with a frame, and I rode an Eastern frame for about like, I don't know, a month maybe. And then at this point, it's like I'm starting to like get more noticed, I guess, by the scene. I'm going to those San Diego contests and like kind of showing up, doing my thing. And then Lee calls me out of the blue, and he's like, hey man, I know we've never talked before, but like, you want to go to Germany?
Yo.
I was like, oh, wait, hold on, stop, wait, what?
Yes.
And I think up until that point, I always thought, oh, it'd be so cool to be sponsored for bikes, right?
Yeah.
Because I lived the bike life since I was a kid, but I never really thought it was going to happen. And that was probably my dad's voice in my head being like, hey, look, dude, this doesn't happen for everyone. And a lot of people ride. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'm just going to ride my hardest and my best, but I'm not going to focus on getting sponsored. I'm just going to ride for myself and just because I love it so much. Yeah. And when he called me up and offered me a spot to go to Germany, I was like out of my mind. I was like,
yeah.
But I didn't have a passport.
I thought about that right when you said it. I was like, oh, well, you're going to have to get that.
The flight was in 4 days.
Oh, damn.
So what ended up happening was Randy Brown was on Eastern, and he was out in Germany, and he got hurt and he broke his wrist and he flew home. And so they wanted someone out there to, represent Eastern. And so I was the only one. I guess Adam had something to do, and the team was really small back then. And he called me up and asked if I wanted to do it. And so my, thank God to my mom, dude, shout out to my mom. She got a passport rush delivered.
Nice.
Yeah. And I think it was like $300, and you could get a passport. And it was like literally the day before I flew out, I got the passport. And we went to the federal building and got that passport in hand. You know what I mean? There's no mailing, there's none of this stuff.
Yeah.
Just go to the federal building and figure it out.
Crazy. Okay, cool. And then what was that trip like? What the fuck? That's awesome.
That trip was insane, dude. It was like,
dude, that's nuts, actually. Like, hey, instead of just the usual like phone call, like, hey, rep us, film a video. It's like, hey, want to go to Germany? It's like, what?
Yeah. Hey, want to go to Germany was the first like contact that I had
on Friday.
Yeah. So then I get flown to Germany. We got that rush passport, and my first stop in Germany was going to Mellow Park, and it was Rebel Jam.
Cool.
And I was like, dude, this is insane. Like,
what year?
This is Rebel Jam 06, maybe maybe 06.
06 sounds kind of right.
It was in that time zone. I believe it was 06.
Does this look familiar?
Yeah, that's it right there. Mellow Park.
Hell yeah.
Brown ramps. And that's where I got to see all of my heroes, dude. I got to see like Tobias Vick, dude. Remember that guy?
Yeah, of course I did.
Powerhouse, dude.
Yeah, I miss this guy. I miss seeing him all the props and shit. Like he was
so rad. I got to see him. I got to see Corey Bowen. I got to see like all these dudes riding like in real life in front of my face. Like
that was crazy.
And I felt really insecure.
How did you like know them before you get into
just videos?
Yeah,
like just watching videos. Like I said, I think after I watched my first BMX video, Seek and Destroy, then it was like whatever video I could get.
Give me more.
Right? And then I remember getting a copy of DK Intuition.
Never seen that one.
Dude, I burnt that VHS to the ground. Like every day before going riding, we'd hit that one up. And what's funny is Lee Ramsdale and Adam Banton are in that video.
Crazy.
They were both on DK at the time.
Oh, you're fucking stoked when you're younger hanging out with Adam Banton and shit.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. I was like, dude, I watched this guy in videos, I tried not to like be that like nut huggy.
Yeah, I know what you mean. That's crazy.
Yeah, I tried to act cool, of course, but then obviously over years of riding together, it was more of like a friendship and not like that. But
Yep.
yeah, anyway, so that was serendipitous, right? Like one of my favorite videos. And now I'm talking to Lee on the phone and they're sending me to Germany. And then anyways, I remember wanting to do a front flip drop-in off of like a sub box. And they had this huge sub wall that's about like 8 or 9 feet tall. And on the bottom was like a curved ramp, like a really nice smooth curve. And usually it was like hard bank to wall.
Right.
And so I'm like, maybe this is it. Like maybe this is the spot I can do it at, and I remember looking at it, going up on top of the ramp, and I didn't want to like try it because that's insane just to try.
Yeah.
So I was going to do it for the contest, and thank God the contest got rained out. I might have killed myself there in front of all my heroes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Had that been at that point, was like Scotty doing them? Who was the first to do a front flip drop in?
Well, honestly, I think Scotty was the first to do it. Him and I were very even. And it's funny now that I'm thinking about it, I skipped over a large part of what kind of got me to where I was, which was Woodward West.
Okay. Shout out Woodward.
So this is 2003 or 5. I can't remember. Somewhere in that area, Woodward West just opened or was about to open. My dad was losing his mind with me because all I want to do is ride bikes. All I want to do is go ride around the city all day long. And he's, he's pretty militant. So he's like, you're not sitting around all summer and just riding your bike. And I'm like, why not? Like, this is what I do.
Yeah.
And so he was literally verging. I just had a conversation with him recently. He's like, I was so close to sending you to a military school.
Oh, shit.
Like, dude, I would have ran away. Like, there's no way you could catch me. Like,
yeah.
I would have been gone before you could get me there. And so he ended up going down to the beach. And I don't know if you remember, like a long time ago, there used to be these like Panasonic Shockwave tours. It was beach contests. So it was a bowl, like a big bowl on the beach, like a vert bowl. And then they had a couple little like park setups. And they would do this. This was at I think this was in Hermosa Beach at the time, but they did them in Venice Beach too, like King of Dirt contests. Those were all on the beach. And so my dad goes down there, ends up talking to a guy, and the guy ended up being one of the main guys at Woodward West. And he was like, I can give your son a job for the summer.
Nice.
And he's like, no way. All right, cool. And like, it just was like, again, like serendipitous, right? Like it just happened. And then he comes home and they sit me down and I'm like, oh, fuck, here it is. Here comes the news. I'm getting shipped off somewhere. And he's like, how would you like to work at Woodward for the summer? And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I was like stunned, like taken back because, I had looked at Woodward East in magazines or in whatever catalogs, seen it all over. But like from a Cali perspective, that's $900 to get over there. And then the camp was $900 at the time. I'm like, there's no way in hell I'm ever making it to Woodward East, Yeah. And so I was like out of my mind. I was like, this is like the best turn of events that could ever happen.
For real.
And I worked at Woodward West. I was 17 at the time.
Okay.
And I worked there all summer for like 3 months.
What's since they just went under, what are some fine memories you have of Woodward?
I think they were finishing up the Enterprise, the big wooden course that they used to have out there. And I got to help like Pat Schrader and a couple other guys. Who's the one that owns Livewire Construction now? Ron Kimler.
Cool.
Got to work with Ron Kimler a bunch there. Sean Dorton was the BMX lead there. He was also a rad dude. And I was dish dogging, dude. I was washing dishes.
Hell yeah. Washing
And
dishes and riding bikes, man.
washing dishes and riding bikes, and I got food and lodging. You know, I didn't get
Yeah.
paid, or of course, you just work to be there.
Yep.
And the thing that was gnarly about Woodward at the time was it was the first year it opened, so no one had any like rules on how dish dogs did their thing, right? So we ended up like inviting friends and like people to come dish dog with us, and then we eventually had so many dish dogs that you got a day off during the week.
Nice.
And you only had to work one shift, which was like retarded. Like,
yeah, that's great.
if you go to East and dish dog there, it is morning, lunch, and dinner shift that you got to do.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, it's much more rigorous. So like, it was pretty wild, dude. We were just hanging out. We would like not even ride during the day, go to the pool. Like,
God, I've been there a couple of times. I remember everything you're saying. It's kind of crazy. I'm curious about the trick wise or riding wise, because I think what sparked it in your mind is the front flip. So I imagine you learned front flips at Woodward.
Yeah, so I learned everything there, man. And this, like I said, this is when the CFB came around, like that contest series.
Okay.
So like I got to see like Morgan Wade and like, I mean, every big person ever, Corey Martinez, like all these guys came out for that contest. And I remember making friends with Morgan, and like I really loved his riding and just how wild he was.
Fucking wild.
Yeah, really wild.
Bro, it's crazy.
Like, this dude's gonna jump over the entire park right now.
Yeah.
And I'm super stoked. And so, you know, I got to meet him and talk to some people. So that's kind of like, I guess I wanted to say that because that was like a really big time of my life, and learning tricks and getting to ride a foam pit. You know what I mean? Like, we rode the foam pit at Real Ride Skate Park in Riverside, but it was pretty dingy and you didn't really want to go in there. There was apparently there was snakes at the bottom too, and it was outdoors, you know, in Riverside. So pretty rough. But yeah, man, like Woodward really like kicked it off for me. And I just remember like showing up and being in awe and riding the indoor hangar by myself. And I'm like, this is fucking nuts, dude. Like, I can't even believe this. And so, I learned backflips and I learned all that stuff there, and 360 tail whips and double tail whips and all those like crazy park tricks. But since I had that relationship with Woodward, I would keep going, you know, like I would go there in the winter time too and ride with just a small crew of people. And just like, you know, that was, again, the West Coast, LA didn't really have ramps. Like we didn't have a box jump to hit, like to where we could learn like Dew Tour or X Games park riding style stuff.
Right. Yeah.
And so since my background is racing and motocross and like motorcycles and jumping, and like I wanted to be like Crusty Demons at Dirt, you know, like Seth Enslow and shit on a bicycle. So we were trying to jump stuff. And anyways, like it pushed me to the next level 100%. It was like Woodward's success story. Like, absolutely.
Fuck yeah.
And I remember before that, going to Germany, I was learning front flip drop-ins, and I would put 2 grind boxes up on top of the vert ramp, and I would front flip into the vert resi.
Wow.
And I never did it. Like, I got close, you know, but I'm like, I need a little bit more like drop hang time, like a you know, if I just committed off of like a sub box, like a 6-foot sub or something, I'm sure it would have came around. I don't know if I'd land it, but at least I'd get like back wheel and maybe loop out or something.
This might be the most unrelatable conversation I've ever had. I have no clue. So I'm curious, because like when I think of it, I think of like you tap the brakes, like you do a tap and then forward. Is that the move? Is that how you were doing it?
That was it. Yeah, I would like literally just creep up, go up to the edge, and then hop forward, tap the brakes, and just like try to.
It's gotta feel fucking nuts, dude. What the hell?
And I remember because I saw Behringer do a front flip at Woodward, and I was like, okay, like I got what he was doing, you know, and I just kind of like had it in my mind, like I'm gonna do this. And I remember trying it, not getting it, but getting close to the back wheel. And that made me like a little bit more confident. I'm like, okay, cool. I know this can happen somehow.
And then that's the experience of you had never landed it, and then you're in Germany, and you're like, I think I'm going to do it.
Yeah, then I'm at like one of the biggest contests of the year, Rebel Jam. It's my first contest. I'm like I said, I'm so insecure with myself. I'm with all of these heroes that I've been watching in videos, and I'm just gonna literally flatline myself. Probably
got to prove yourself, baby. Yeah.
I gotta prove what's going on here.
Yeah.
And then so anyways, that contest got rained out, which like again, probably saved my life.
Yeah. So wait, so if you're going to Germany to rep Eastern, in what sense are you guys working on a video? You're repping Eastern at contests then? Just
this is literally just Adam Banton got me a frame, and I'm connected now with Eastern.
Yeah, and then they flew you to Germany in place of Randy to what?
In place of Randy to just represent Eastern. So,
in the contests.
In the contest, yeah.
Got it. Yeah.
And then we had lined up a trip with our distributor in England at that same time. So we went from Germany to England.
Okay.
And then
to do what? Like a shop stop tour or something?
Yeah, shop stop stuff. And riding parks, filming, you know. And then I got hooked up
videos in Germany.
On that same trip, I got hooked up with Odessa, the shoe company.
Sick. Yeah.
So that was the shoe company that all the 4 Down dudes rode for, you know what I mean? Like James Newrick and Joe Cox, or like there's a bunch of dudes that rode for Odessa back in the day.
Iconic. I remember.
Yeah. And that was when Voices came out.
Yeah.
You know? And so I'm like, I got to ride with like those dudes, and I'm like, this is fucking insane. Like, this is like the most crazy thing.
So jealous right now. Like, that's crazy. That video is my favorite of all time.
And we hit it off, dude. It was awesome. Like, they loved what I was doing. I was riding hard, you know, and we were all riding everything, park, street, whatever. And then Ollie, the main dude at Odessa back then, shout out Ollie.
Ollie Shields? No,
I don't know Ollie's last name actually. But he's since like left BMX essentially. Like he works in another industry.
It's the only Ollie I could think of, which makes zero sense because he's modern Ollie Shields, I believe.
Yeah, no, this was like way back in the day, but Ollie's rad. I actually saw him 2 years ago when I went to England, which was awesome. We got to see each other again after like 18 years.
Sick.
But yeah, he was like, dude, I want to hook you up. And I'm like, awesome. He sent me home with like 4 pairs of shoes. And I got home and I'm riding for Eastern and Odessa.
That's crazy. That's awesome.
Yeah. And I'm like, holy shit, dude. Like,
I'm sponsored.
Everyone called me and they were like, we heard, you know, that you rode really well and how good you did out there. And we wanted to like, thank you very like so much. And we want to offer you like a ride and, you know, ride Eastern stuff and also be on Odessa and get shoes from them. And I was like,
where was the distro for Eastern and Odessa and shit? 4 Down?
I don't think it was 4 Down for, at least for Eastern. For Odessa, I think 4 Down was maybe a distributor for them. I think Sunex was a distributor. I think it might have been Sunex. I know that we did a couple. Every year we would do distributor trip. So I remember doing a lot of trips for Sunex, but they were like in France, I think. So
okay.
I'm not really sure how
it's European. Eastern's a European company, huh?
No, they're North Carolina.
But okay, so Sunex is based the distribution
was distributing Eastern out there.
Okay. Okay, got it.
Eastern itself is like, I mean, they used to have like stickers like Eastern, like homegrown BMX, you know, like it was a North Carolina company started by John Byers and Mike Corley. And they were like 2 vert riders back in the day who were really good too. Like John Byers could freaking blast a vert ramp too. For sure.
That's Eastern is a company that I like never really understood the like where, like I think I knew a general sense of, you know, Lee Ramsdale and
Yeah.
Like especially because I fanboyed Carl Pointer so much, but
Carl.
like it was a kind of a mystery what you just said, like who started it and like where the distribution is or whatever. But anyways,
so it was a bike oriented company, like two guys that rode BMX started it. So that was pretty
cool.
rad.
Yeah. So you come back from Germany, you're sponsored guy now. We're just doing contests and videos. Like what was the next few years like for you?
Yeah, so the next few years is doing contests and I did one of the contests in San Diego at Claremont, and I remember getting some coverage there on Ride BMX and a couple other things. And I remember I had ordered like parts somewhere off of like Staff BMX, and I rocked a sticker on my helmet. And literally Bob from Staff saw it in the photo, called me up, got my number somehow, called me up and goes, "Hey man, I saw you were rocking the Staff sticker on your helmet in that contest. Like, that's so cool." He's like, "If you ever need anything, just hit me up."
Sick.
And I'm like, "What, rad, dude?" He's like, "I'm going to send you a care package." And I'm like, "Badass, dude." So I got like some Staff shirts and stuff and
nice.
Started rocking that. And I always thought that was super cool too, because, obviously I love Scotty and Garrett and all those dudes are all from that area where Staff was. That was their shop, Yeah. And I'm like, this is weird for me to be a West Coast dude rocking an East Coast shop, but whatever, it's cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
And he was the most awesome dude. He hooked me up like with Freecoasters back in the day, like the KHE, like Geisha.
Yeah,
it was like the Flatland hub.
Yeah, just hearing that name is like fucking the most nostalgic shit. That was my first free coaster.
It takes you back, right? Like, remember the axle converters? To make it 14 mil.
Yes. Like it was yesterday, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah. And they were clanky and like never really worked that great.
They're never. I prefer those over the modern ones, but like the Federal. I think it was Joe V or Barney that gave me my first. Like it gave me a Federal with like it was a prototype bushings instead of bearings on the internal thing, and I'll just never forget it. I feel like those were better for me. Anyway, enough about me, dude.
No.
I thought they were better. I thought they were better, and like I had learned full cabs and 5 cabs with a certain amount of slack, and when those coasters engaged back then, it was like hard and intense, and I could use it. If I feel like today, it's like iffier and like it's a different thing. I feel like free coasters are entirely different. I haven't taken apart a new one literally in 15 years, but back then it was the wheelhouse. So
I don't honestly. Okay, so the inspiration that I had for like riding Fakey was obviously Bruce Chrisman, Ian Schwartz.
Yes.
Like those dudes, like for Fakey riding, I was like, this is rad. Like we got to figure something out here where you could do more going backwards,
Yep.
So when I got back from all those trips, that's when I started really like looking into that. Like, and then obviously my relationship to Bob and him hooking me up with coasters, like there's no way I could ever afford that. I mean, I was blowing coasters out like every 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm like, Bob, I need another one. He's like, what are you doing? Like, and I'm like, they're not meant to ride street on, like,
Yeah.
And I remember when I was really, really young, I went down to one of those like Venice Beach contest things, and it was like a rollerblade contest. And I remember one of the vert riders. Do you remember those Japanese brothers? Like in X Games back in the day?
I vaguely remember something like that.
Yeah, like Takamoto or something like that. But they would go like so high on rollerblades on vert. It was crazy.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, one of them got done with their runs and they were just like chilling, like doing a small little back to forth thing. And he went backwards, front flipped, and went forwards.
Oh, shit.
And I was like, no fucking way. I was like, dude, you could do that on a skateboard. You could do that on a bike. You know what I mean? But like, how would I go backwards without pedaling?
Yes.
I had no idea back then, like how that worked. So then
forward.
when I learned about coasters, I was like, okay, that's it. That's the trick I want to do with a coaster.
Yes, and it's never been done.
And it never had been done on a bike before. Obviously, he did it on rollerblades, which of course is easier, but also it was like a sideshow trick. It wasn't even part of his run. It was something he did for fun. And I was just like, dude, this is something you could do on a bike if you had a way to go backwards. And so, like, of course, take off your chain. That's the first way to go backwards without a coaster. And so I just started like practicing backwards stuff. I would go to the park down the street from my house, and I would literally just pedal and just 180, and I would just start learning what it felt like to like do fakies for a really long time.
Yes.
How to control it, how to turn. And I ended up learning that, like, okay, if you raised your bars up, you got more weight on the back and actually lifted your weight off the front. So if you were going backwards and you're leaning far forward, you're putting too much weight on the front, and every little adjustment is going to be a big swoop.
Yep.
So I learned you got to hang off the back, and I learned also that you just raise your like bars up. So I put like spacers under the stem, got it raised up, and back then our bars were like really low.
Yeah, for real.
This is like milk bar days.
Yeah, it's like discovering the wheel for the first time. You're like, oh,
yeah, okay. And then obviously, like Eastern's sending me parts now and bikes. So I built 2 bikes. I built like a park bike that had, gyro and all that stuff. And then I built a street freestyle bike with a Freecoaster.
Nice.
With no brakes. So brakeless coaster street bike.
Sweet.
And I just started doing stuff, like getting into it, learning how to half cab downstairs, all that. And I don't know how, but I got hooked up with Brian Purdy, and he's the one that made F This S, which was like the first full-length DVD I ever was in.
Yeah.
And it was probably from Adam, again, another Banton hookup, because I think Purdy had made the first video, which was Sentenced to Life.
Yes, dude. I remember
Sentenced to Life was a big hit. Like a lot of people loved it. Of course, they had like Mirra and all these dudes. Gutler was in it, and like a bunch of other guys. And so when they started shooting for F This S, like I think Adam was involved, and I just remember like, hey, he's like, hey, do you want to come ride and shoot some stuff? And maybe you can get in this video. And I don't remember where exactly we rode first, but I definitely made an impression, I guess, on Brian. So yeah, like this part was my first full-length part. That dude was amazing.
17 years ago.
17 years ago. Wow.
Look at this little baby Kelly.
Look at that.
Baby Kelly.
Yeah. So we did a lot of NorCal here. This is in LA.
Yeah, the bars were so small compared to modern day running.
The bars were tiny, dude. This is a horrible hop whip.
What's your life like outside of BMX during this time, by the way? Like, what are you working? What are you doing?
Yeah, so during this time, I was going to college. I was going to school for graphic design.
Okay.
That was like my only path, because like throughout high school and all of, here's a really bad Indian giver. Oh boy.
Fashionable dog is cool.
We didn't know about that then. But no, I was going to school for graphic design, and when the Germany thing came about, that pretty much put school to the side, because they're like, you can't miss more than a couple of days.
Yeah.
So that was a big decision for sure. Like, school was really important to my mom and my dad, of course. And my mom was, again, really supportive. She's like, you gotta go. You gotta do this thing. You're never gonna go to Germany again, probably.
School will be there.
School will be there if you want to go back. And so, yeah, I ended up basically going to school during a lot of this, and then after, like a lot of this stuff right here is even after Germany. Like you can see I have like Odessa shoes on right there.
Yeah.
I think that those are low-techs. But yeah, so I'm working at the Santa Monica skate park.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah, when they first built the skate park, like we were going to the city meetings, you know, like championing for like BMX and trying to get BMX into the park. And when they first made it, I had a friend, my buddy Clint, who is also a really good rider.
Yeah.
This was the most disgusting bar spin.
Yeah, but the hippie jump though, there's like a bump.
It was a double rail hippie hop.
Really early on the big
But
set.
that's a better one right there.
Yeah, sheesh.
But yeah, so he got me a job at the skate park. I tried forever to get a job there and finally got one. And it was a legit city job, you know, like full deal, like had to go to like training, had to get CPR for certified, all that stuff to work at the skate park.
Damn, that's got to be one of the first Fakey whips downstairs.
That was the first. Actually.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. As far as I know,
pioneer, you Kelly fucking pioneer.
Worldwide, I don't know. I think I saw someone maybe do it off a curb or something.
Is this the first one right here? This Fakey
that was it.
flip?
Yeah, that was the first Fakey front flip ever.
That's crazy, dude. Historical moments.
So those were 3 firsts back to back. That was a wall ride barrel roll.
Yes.
Over a straight dirt jump. That one.
Yep.
Then it was Fakey whip downstairs, a 5-stair.
Clean
that's in Venice Beach,
too.
right by my house.
Yeah.
And then this one was another first, and that was in Gardnerville, Nevada.
Shoo. What did that feel like? What was the vibe that day? Fucking Fakey flip.
The vibe that day was Brian was stoked on my riding, and he's like, do you want a part in this video? I was like, fuck yeah, dude, are you kidding me? Like, do you know the roster of this video? I was like, this is incredible. So we started filming, and I would go up to his house because he lived up by Lake Tahoe. And at that time, my dad had moved over there too, towards Lake Tahoe area. So I was going up and visiting him, and we would go snowboarding in the winter and like have great snowboarding trips. And then we'd go film stuff in the summer. Colin McKay, Alan Cook, dude, like,
yeah, that's nuts.
Pretty rad. Like,
I'd be shitting my pants.
Like Doyle too.
Yeah,
you know, like to have a freaking part with Doyle, like in the same video that I'm in, is like mind blowing, right?
That's pretty fucking sick.
Yeah. And so, anyways, we were there that day. There's a skate park in Gardnerville, is right down the hill from where Brian lived up in Tahoe. And I had been talking about that for a while, like doing a Fakey front flip. And I don't know, I think he was just like, you want to try it? And I'm like, here at a concrete park? I'm like, I don't know if I want to try it at the concrete park, but I'm like, you know, there is a really long flat bottom here. Yeah. Where you could just ride in 180 and, you know, feel it. So I did a couple of feelers, and the first one I did actually flip on. I remember I landed sitting down on the coping, like literally just butt on the coping, sitting down. And I was like, I think this could work. You know, if I just get a good pop and, you know, learn the timing really, I think it could probably work. And I think I worked on it for about an hour, and it happened.
I'm trying to, because I can, in my body, I can feel it a little bit, because I know what it feels like to go backwards. I don't know what the fuck a front flip feels like. But does it feel like you're, dude? I don't even know what question to ask. Like, it feels jumping.
Honestly like a half a flip, because in my mind, you're here, you're already a quarter of the way around.
Yeah.
All you really have to get to is the back wheel. If you have brakes, you can pull the brakes, you know, lock it up and just like land down.
Yeah.
So I'm like, really, you just have to do a half a front flip.
It's wild.
You know, like,
do you still feel like you're moving up when you're doing it? Let's go back.
Well, okay. So that was what I learned in that process, was like, when you front flip too soon, you don't pop and you'll just go back into the deck. And that's really what happened when I sat up on the deck. I waited, or I did it too early.
And so you wait a little bit and then
wait a little bit, right? And you wait till your back wheel hits the coping.
That's fucking wild.
Right when your back wheel hits, then you're in. Then you curl your toes, like bunny hop, and just pull it, like pull forward.
Shoot.
Sure. And see, I landed full brakes. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't like a stomp double wheels. It was brakes. But again, I didn't know what I was doing. It was the first time I had ever tried it. So
well, it's pretty fucking influential. It's actually insane to think about.
Well, I never thought anyone would do it. Like, I just thought it was a sideshow, you know what I mean, type trick. Like, it's not something you could just go and do in a contest run, right? It doesn't work that way. I tried, trust me. I tried at tours. I tried like in all the contests. Yeah. And I felt horrible because it just felt like I just flopped, right? Like I just flopped this contest because I wanted to do my signature trick. And it's not right for a contest. You know, if you could do it, it'd be amazing to end your run with, but it's not. It's a film trick.
Being the godfather of this trick, who are some notable doers of the Fakey front flip since you started
I've seen like some awesome ones from Chris Kyle. He's done some pretty rad ones. I think he did a street one too, which is rad. I think that was in Greece or something. There was like a cool...
been the first street one.
I think that might have been the first street one.
Yeah.
I remember like soon after I did one, I remember Alfredo Mancuso did one at Woodward.
Sick.
Yeah, that was cool. And then I remember taking a trip to go visit Bob at Staff in New Jersey. And we went to Incline Club and Scotty was there. And I shot one for Vital. It was a sequence. And I was on like a red bike or something like that. And that day, Scotty watched me do it. And he was like really intrigued. And I'm like, I'm not the type of person to hold tricks from anyone.
No gatekeeping.
I never gatekeep my trick or a trick I came up with or anything. I don't even want to say my trick because it's like stupid.
Yeah.
But I never did. So I'm like, do you want to learn it? Like I can walk you through it. Like, let's do it, dude. Take your chain off. Like, let's go. You know what I mean? Like, and he's like, no, I don't want to try it right now. I'm like, come on, like do it. Like I'm almost pushing him to try it.
Yes.
And because no one else was really doing it. I'm like, Scotty, you're gonna freaking kill this thing. You're gonna do it first try. I know it.
Oh, here's Alfredo. Oh fuck. I'm so sorry. I just distracted you from the story. But
no, it's good. Let's see this. Yeah, there's one, Skate City in Las Vegas.
And baby Mancuso.
I remember that, yes.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was a Skate City contest that they had. I didn't make it out to that. I was bummed.
Okay, so Scotty.
So Scotty, and this is right when Scotty also invented the like front flip over a box jump, right? Like the like shooting upwards front flips, not like a Behringer. I'm going over the bars off the lip. This was like I'm leaning backwards and then I'm popping. And when I saw him do that, I was like, oh my God. Like, you just figured out everything I was trying to figure out before. Anyways, I wanted him to do it. And then he didn't do it. And I was bummed that he didn't try it because I knew he could have done it. And guess what? 2 weeks later, he comes out with his, I think it's a Vans video. He's at Vans skate park and he does flip to Fakey front flip.
Right.
And I was like,
wow, bro. Right as you say that, I'm pulling it up.
You're pulling it up? Amazing.
At Vans Park.
Yeah.
Look at this. I was literally opening this tab as you said, backflip to Fakey, and then Fakey front flip. I remember this like it was yesterday, actually. Like this broke the BMX internet back in the day.
Dude, it was wild, man. Like it was insane. And I had thought about that, like, oh yeah, that's something you could definitely do. Like, but I didn't think it was possible, or you know what I mean? Like I never really tried it.
It
And
looks so sick. That's such a great combo.
I heard he did it really quickly too. Like it didn't take him very many tries. And I'm like, see, I called him up or like texted him or whatever I did.
See?
And I'm like, see how easy you could have done this? Like,
Yeah.
And he, of course he did. Like, that's insane.
Let's see. So from Scotty, I think it was back in 2007 when I flew down to Florida to film another of the Scotty Cranmer web edits that were quite the hit on the internet at the time in the BMX world. The pressure was pretty high for me to somehow one-up my previous video, and I had one trick in mind, the first ever triple tail whip to tail tap. I gave it a shot, caught the pedals, and landed so hard on the back end of my bike that my chain snapped off and my Eastern titanium cranks cracked and bent and were hanging on by a thread. So I looked at my bike, did my best to come up with a trick combo that I wouldn't need a chain for, and I decided that a backflip to Fakey front flip was my only option, and that is how the Scotty Cranmer Florida flips came about. Here's a fun fact. This was the first time I had attempted either of these tricks, dude. What the fuck?
That's what I'm telling you, dude. He's a freak. He's a freak.
That's
he's
amazing.
Literally the best, man. It's when watching him ride Incline Club is wild. Like,
yeah,
insane.
And
also, that trip was the first time I learned about Big Daddy.
Nice.
Yes.
Iconic.
Yeah. So that was back then. His name was the Intimidator.
Hell yeah.
And I remember he used to just intimidate Doyle a lot. Apparently, he would call Doyle out all the time.
What a character! I love it. All right, so you invented the Fakey front flip. That's pretty fucking dope. And then what about, you see Casey Starling? I'm pretty sure Casey's doing
it. Absolutely, dude. Casey's insane. It's so cool to see where he's gone with that as well.
Yeah, he is also, like the product of all kinds of progressions, you know, like Edwin, but also Scotty and Kelly Bolton.
Yeah.
Everything, pack it into the sickest fucking combo.
Like that thing that he did a flare to like backwards, like dude, that was
it's like taking
that's like
Ian Schwartz.
That's a dream trick for me. Like that's so insane. Like
it's beautiful.
And I never did one of those, but I never like tried it. But I definitely did like street flares out of banks, or you know what I mean, stuff like that, and just to Fakey. But yeah, I think. Yeah, Casey's a freaking animal, dude. Like, I don't know how he does all the things that he does.
He's also, speaking of freaks, that dude's fucking awesome.
Yeah, he's amazing. But I never also really got any combos with that. I tried like tuck no-handed Fakey front flip. And I did that one at the Give D Fest that was in San Diego.
Hell yeah,
back in the day. Yeah, all the Give D dudes.
Do you think I could find that online?
Yeah, that's online somewhere. Just to type in like Give D Fest San Diego or something like that. I think it's out there. Cosman edited that one and I think it was on that. Remember that website Banquet?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was on Banquet, I think, back in the day. But that one, I have like, there's a whole section at the end that Cosman did of me doing Fakey front flip stuff. And I ended up breaking my kneecap and separating my shoulder.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. This is crazy.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, that was my kneecap that bent the handlebars.
Oof. All right, so we got Fakey.
Yeah, that's it. So that was a try, an attempt. And then this is the one. And what happened is I pulled hard and I didn't tuck it. So I went over rotated.
Yeah. Wait, so did you land the Fakey front flip no-hander here?
No.
No.
Never
you tried it. You never landed it.
Never landed it. No.
Damn.
I tried it a bunch and I just never got it. My feet would always, because you're basically with your toes, you're curling to like pull the front flip, right?
Yeah.
So right there. And then it's like taking your hands off. For some reason, my feet would just float.
Yeah.
And they would just leave the bike. And I'm like,
for some reason, maybe the fact that you're spinning upside down and you're oh shit. Look at this wee lad.
I know.
Man, what a trip down memory lane. All right, so then when do you add a fucking 180 into it and do a front flip flare, Fakey front flip flare?
So I I had the idea for a while. I was like, okay, I think if you just like roll your shoulder, you could probably get around. And I think like the thing I thought about with those tricks was like they're pretty safe. Like you're not really gonna mess yourself up that much. You're not going high.
Yeah.
You're not jumping far. It's like you're gonna slide down the ramp and hopefully you just don't land on your head, right? Like
They are fairly safe, huh?
fairly safe. It's like
Yeah.
a flare, you know, it's pretty safe, like
Reasonable amount of risk.
reasonable. You know, it's not a double backflip over a dirt jump or anything. It's like, you know, so I'm like, all right, I think if I roll it, then maybe I can do that. And then it came up at Jomo Pro, the Jomo Pro at Joplin, Missouri in, I think it was probably 07.
Damn,
maybe.
this is like early, you know?
Pretty early. Yeah. I mean, you know, fairly early. I guess it's a long time ago now that you know, you said it was 17 years ago.
Yeah. Wild. Like it, I don't know. Time's an interesting thing. It keeps on fucking cruising by. Like that's late for some people, but
yeah. But I think I would just honestly, I would dream about these tricks. Like I would think about them like at school, or I think about them at night, or
yeah.
I didn't really necessarily have like a trick list. Like I never wrote a list out or nothing.
2008.
2008. Okay, cool. But I was thinking about this stuff, you know? Oh, okay. So this is the second one. This is actually the first one that I landed, because Joplin, Missouri, I didn't land it.
Okay. So
I tried it. Yeah. I tried it in the best trick contest, and the contest ended, and I kept going for 45 minutes.
Hell yeah.
After the contest ended, and everyone stayed. Dude, the whole crowd stayed. Everyone was stayed around, and they wanted me to land it so bad. And I just couldn't. Like, I got so tired, I couldn't do it anymore.
Shoo, that's so crazy.
And then this one came about 2 weeks later.
Wait, was that Big Daddy right there?
No, that was Eric Hawley.
Oh, fuck.
Shout out to Eric Hawley, dude, my boy. And also, Eric was on the first trip in Germany with me.
Hell
so
yeah.
we became boys right away.
Dude, you guys are both like pioneers. It's crazy.
That's hell yeah, dude. I remember his freaking
that little section on the rail. Yeah,
dude, like insane.
It'll go down in history, baby.
Zach Rogers is right there.
I can hear the music in my head. Ding, 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 you know?
Darren. Yeah, my boy Darren. But yeah, so that was 2 weeks after Jomo. And I'm like, okay, I knew what I was doing wrong at Jomo. I knew that the ramp might not have been as steep enough. And so I'm like, I'm pretty sure I could do it here. And so I told Lee, like, all right, let's set up the camera and let's do this thing. And
shoo!
I think this only took me like 15 minutes. And I was like, why couldn't I have done that and won a Harley at Jomo Pro?
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Tell me more about that.
Well, yeah, it's just like, again, it was just roll it, like it could happen. And like, since I had done the wall ride barrel rolls, and I got into like doing barrel rolls over straight jumps and stuff, and I felt pretty confident in flipping, you know, and being like I guess your awareness of where you are in the air.
Not so much like doing it. Tell me more about like what like, because this shit, you know, it spreads like fire, and everybody in BMX sees that this is possible now. And
it was wild.
Anything come of it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, the first one, not the F This S video, that definitely got reach. You know, a lot of people saw it from there. But Cosman and I filmed one at Santa Monica Skate Park for a banquet video that got over 1 million hits.
Crazy.
And that's when it went like super viral. People were like, what the fuck? He just broke gravity, and like, you know, it was crazy. Like, that's when people really took notice, because, you know, not everyone saw the DVD like F This S, you know. It wasn't, I mean, it was a good DVD. It was pretty popular, but
I didn't until today.
A lot of people haven't seen it still. And so when that like web clip came out, that was like when everybody saw it. That's when it was like, I think it, you know, it was on the come up probably. if I think the
100%.
come up was even around when that
That's
happened.
definitely like, that's for sure how I saw it, the come up, you know?
Yeah. So that definitely like threw it into the stratosphere, you know, as far as like publicity with that.
So
And
then
that's
DC Shoes calls you up and says, "Hey."
no, that DC was a longer period after that. I think what happened from that was just like more people like knew who I was, right? So if I showed up at a park somewhere like in the Midwest, dudes knew who I was. Like
Holy
I
fuck,
was
that's
like,
Kelly Bolton, dude.
that's pretty rad because
Yeah.
like even when I went out to Germany and did Rebel Jam, no one knew who I was. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
no one ever heard of me and whatever. So that's like really what like solidified, I guess, my name in the BMX world essentially.
Yeah.
Which again is like so weird because I'm like, I mean, we were going to Interbike when I was 12.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like I've been here the whole time, been riding, been around the scene. Like I remember when I was like I was 12 and we would go to Slater's trails that were in Huntington Beach. And I remember Brian Foster was there. And I'm
Hell
like,
yeah.
fuck yeah, dude, Blue Falcon.
Yeah.
And he was shooting an Airwalk ad with Lozy.
Sick.
So I'm like, Lozy has seen me since I was 12.
Yeah.
You know, I guarantee you Lozy doesn't even remember this, but they shot this ad where there was a ladder that they set up on a dirt jump and BF came up and nose bonked the ladder, the top.
That's so
and
dope.
that was the ad. And in the magazine, I was a little dot all the way, you know, but I had helped set the ladder up for them.
That's crazy.
It was only them two and they needed some help. And so we like janky set up this ladder and BF did that. And I'm like, so it's like, and again, the Robbie stuff. And I'm like, I'm there, but I'm not there.
In the background,
you know
nobody knows
like,
yet. Yeah.
I'm in it, but I'm not, no one knows who I am.
But then you break the internet, you invent tricks, and now everybody knows. I'm curious about like peak. What do you think is, you know, pinnacle for BMX? Like what for a kid who's not sponsored or anything but wants it? Like, is that what is there? What's the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, Kelly Bolton?
The pot of gold is honestly just to be able to afford to ride your bike. Like,
yeah,
that's the pot of gold right there.
How did that go for you? What was the best month? Like, what did you get paid?
The best times that I got paid was later in my career towards 2012 era when we were all DC Pro.
Yeah.
We all got like diamond rings and it was badass, dude. It was awesome. That was definitely when I made the most money because I was not only getting paid by Eastern, which I never got a lot from Eastern. Eastern was like really like, again, homegrown BMX company. Yeah. They really skyrocketed in that like 06 to 08 area.
I remember Grim
Reapers. And then they really did a great job with like starting good entry level complete bikes.
Yes.
So all the kids were buying completes and then they'd go off to some other cooler company. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Eventually. But what were the names of those completes? I'm trying to remember because I remember geeking out on.
That's a good question.
Complete. Yeah.
I don't really know the names of the.
But with the Eastern 2008 complete.
They crushed the complete market and kids were buying them up left and
Eastern
right.
Element, bro. That was
Element. That's right. Yeah.
That was the one. Yes. Yeah.
And so I remember also too, like during that time, I actually made a couple ads for like Ride UK ran one where I designed it. And it was for the Eastern Element. And I actually designed an ad of my own. So I made the layout and designed the ad with me in the thing. It was double dipping. Yeah, double dipping for sure.
Vertical integration of the sponsored BMX rider.
But that was pretty cool. So yeah, they did really well back then with their complete. So, but I never like considered them like, I guess, unfortunately, I just never considered them one of the coolest companies. It's not like a cult or, you know, these really awesome companies. It was very like I said, homegrown and
almost like humble vibe.
Humble, sure. Yeah, it was different. It wasn't the same. So I think I collected a check from them for like $500 a month. Which again, back then I wasn't making anything, so that was awesome. Like $500 a month to like put gas in the car and go places, like pretty rad. I mean, when you think about it now, you're like, oh, that's only like $5,000 a year.
Yeah, terrible. But what about DC?
But yeah, so then it was like mostly DC. I think at the end of DC, I was making $17.50 a month.
Wow,
which was awesome.
Yeah, for BMX, dude.
For BMX, like that was pretty insane.
Yeah.
And then at that same time, for like a year there, I had Bell helmets as well.
Sick.
That was like, I think, I want to say probably less than Eastern's, like $250 a month or something like that. So I had 500, 250, and 1750. Like,
yeah,
DC was the cash cow.
That's not bad at all, man. That's a adult living back then. You know?
But I rode DCs for 5 years before being on the team.
Nice.
So I put the work, the time in. You know what I mean? Like I definitely put time in to get on that team and, you know, to be a part of that program. When
those shoes were cool, dude. All the cool skaters in my school and middle school had the fucking DCs. I can still see them in the back of my head. Just, you know, the big DC on the back of the shoe.
It's a shame where it's gone now, and, you know, they're kind of downfall. But there was a lot of inner turmoil within the company because, you know, Ken Block had started it, you know, I can't remember who he started it with, but they were the original owners and they sold it to a corporate company, right? They sold it. Quicksilver owned DC, and I think might still own DC. And from when that whole era was happening, Quicksilver wasn't really doing that great itself, and DC was crushing it. So that's their cash cow as well as DC. They're making tons of money. That was like Rob Deerdeck and Robin Big.
Yeah.
I mean, it was wild. Like you'd see people, just random people with DC shirts on, and like, it was crazy. So we had good travel budgets too. I think I had like 10 grand a year to travel with.
Fuck.
And this was honestly due to our TM, which was Mike Allen. Amazing guy. Like, I mean, I love Mike so much. I literally owe so much to Mike, but I remember I had moved to Greenville to ride ramps because I wanted to like do tours and I wanted to make some money, right? I was like, man, you make 20 grand if you win one of these. Like, I'm going for it. And so he came to watch the Animal House contest. Do you remember that? Like,
yeah, I do.
At Dave's warehouse. And so I'm a local right now. Like, I'm riding Dave's every freaking day at 5 p.m. Daniel Durs is opening the doors and we're riding. And everyone came out for that contest, and I'm riding with everyone during practice, but I'm not in the contest. And then Morgan, of course, being Morgan, goes nuts and like separates his shoulder, like sprocket casing like a 10-foot quarter. And I'm like, oh man, that's a bummer. And then Dave comes up to me, and Dave is like, Kelly, it's like, you've been killing it. Do you want to ride this contest? And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me, dude? Like, Dave Mirra. I understand, like, I've talked to you before. I live in Greenville, whatever, but like, you're asking me to ride in your contest. Like, that was like the biggest honor. Like, I mean, do you know what I mean? Like,
that's crazy. Yeah.
That was insane to me. Like, watching him for years on TV, and he's the biggest guy in the sport. And he asks me if I want to ride in his contest because he likes what I'm doing. Like, I'm like, that's pretty badass.
That's special.
But guess who pulls around contest time?
Who?
Morgan.
Oh yeah.
He rode with a hurt shoulder, and he killed it, dude. He crushed it. And I'm just like, you're a savage. Like, but I mean, again, I made that relationship with him back at Woodward West when I was 17. Like, that's where Morgan and I knew each other. And so like, we're like homies, we're like brothers, dude. Like, I couldn't be more happy for him that he rode the contest.
Yeah.
Was I a little bummed that I didn't do the contest? Sure, but like the invite from Dave alone was like just blasted me off into the moon. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and then it was almost like a relief not to ride the contest. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
you have to like go out and actually prove that I could do it.
Yep. I'm sorry, I don't know. Did like contest winnings? Did you win contests? Did you get the big paychecks ever?
No, my best contest was probably NAS in England, like NASS. That was a big contest there. It had like Mark Webb and Harry Main and all these dudes like showed up for that. That was badass. And I think I got 6th place in that contest.
2009 maybe?
Yeah, 09 probably.
Yeah.
I did a huge like flip transfer gap. Yeah, this stuff. Yeah. So that was NAS. And I think I got 6th in that contest.
I was pretty beat up at this point in our UK trip. Just before this, I remember laying face down on a carpeted floor trying to rest.
Yeah.
I was sore, but the crowd was insane and all the other riders were sending it. So naturally, I got a bit loose. The 360 transfer was from practice the day before the contest, and I almost like it more than the flip version. The flare was something I saved for the moment and was scared that I pedaled so fast at it. The flip transfer was one of those moments you never forget, and they gave me 3 tries, which was sick. I'm just glad I landed it because my legs were jello at that point. That's crazy. I can't imagine that feeling of riding in front of a super pumped up crowd like that. It's got to be...
It's awesome,
dude. Double decker, like there's so many people there. That's fucking sick.
Oh, dude, it was awesome. It felt like a Metro Jam.
Yeah,
you know, like I guess today's contest like that would be Battle of Hastings, right? Where everyone's banging on the wall and it's loud as hell. Like, dude,
exactly.
It was so fun, man. That was like definitely big highlights of life right there. Like,
that's amazing.
And like when I landed this flip transfer, everybody went nuts, and it was badass. Yeah, and I fist pump in the air.
So was there? Let's cut the crap and get down to brass tacks, Kelly. Was there money involved in that one?
There was money involved, and I got paid in cash from the contest,
sick,
in euros, and I went and blew it all that night, dude. But I had a plan with that because I didn't want to pay taxes.
Okay, yeah. So
I wasn't going to take it all back and exchange the currency, and I think it was like 600 euro or something like that, which is again not bad.
Good night.
Making 500 a month, but like, I threw it at everybody. You know, I took everybody out and gave everyone drinks and went to the bar and just spent all of it. Like,
BMX is fucked, dude. Here's to now, you know?
Yeah, it was fun. I mean, it was like such a good contest and it had such a good vibe. And I'm just like, let's keep this party going, dude. Like, I'll pay for it.
What do you
I guess American contests was Jomo Pro was probably my best contest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm like thinking I gotta wrap it up in like 15 minutes, but
I feel like we could talk all day, dude. I'm
honestly,
sorry.
I barely cover anything. What I was most excited to talk about is outside of BMX, you're like graphic design and what you're doing for work right now. But
yeah,
let's go with what are you most proud of reflecting back on your BMX career?
Dude, I don't know. I guess just staying committed, you know, like just being a bike rider.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I know a lot of guys that have come and go, like they've come and gone, and like a lot of people, stopped riding after a while. And I was just like, I love it so much that I'm constantly wanting to ride. Like, if I could do it right now, like if someone was like, hey, what do you want to do with your life? I want to ride.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't need, like, right now, like what you're saying, like with my life now, I own an agency with my wife and we do motion graphics and video content for like different companies. Like we do a lot of beauty brands. So I work in like beauty and wellness space, like, doing just graphics for them. And before that, I was working at Paramount doing entertainment graphics. So like I would do like Super Bowl graphics, like take over Times Square and do all the big screens.
That's fucking sick.
And
I could talk to you about that for 2 hours.
It's sick. And we could talk about CGI and all this stuff like for 2 billion hours. And like
for real. Let's do another one soon.
Again, I've seen my artwork go up in Times Square, New York. You know what I mean? Like that's crazy. It's pretty insane. And but none of it compares to like riding bikes.
None of it compares to a little 360 down a 10 stair, you know?
Yeah.
What do you think?
None of it compares. Like, again, I'm super stoked, obviously, to like have people believe in my graphic work enough to be able to like put it up on. I mean, again, we've done football fields, stadiums, like I did Nike graphics up on Staples Center, the like Jumbotron, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And shout out to Glenn Milligan, because he's the one that hooked me up with like my first job outside of BMX for graphics.
Sick.
Yeah.
Dude, it's amazing the like connections and life that comes from the BMX trajectory, you know?
Yeah. But what I'm most proud about is just
being a biker.
To being a bike rider. You know?
Cool looking at your Instagram and seeing still just loving riding, which is great.
Yeah, I mean, we rode today. Like,
yeah,
we were out there with Heath Pinter and my buddy Miles Simone and a bunch of other dudes. Like
legendary Miles. Miles is famous as fuck.
He told me, he said, in the first 10 minutes, if you don't talk about me for 15 minutes, he's like, I'm going to be mad. And now we're an hour and a half in, and I get to
shout out Miles. Miles with glasses. Fuck
yeah.
I got some like blurry memories with Miles that I like a lot. You know,
man, it's just so wild. Like thinking back to like being a kid riding dirt jumps in the wetlands in Marina Del Rey, and I mean that's where I met Gabe Brooks.
Hell yeah!
When I was 12, or no, I had to be younger than that. I had to be 10.
You met Gabe Brooks.
Yeah.
Damn.
Because he would come down to the wetlands to ride dirt, because they were all into dirt back then.
That's crazy. I'm thugged out hitting dirt jumps.
Thugged out hitting dirt jumps, dude. Like, it was so fun. Like, it was him, this dude Josh, his brother John, this other dude Kendrick, and they would all come down to the trails, and we would just ride all day long.
That's amazing.
Like, it was so insane. And like that's that's the first time I met those dudes. And from then on, it was like we just kept crossing paths. But I went the park route, and I wanted to do Dew Tour, and they all rode street mostly, you know. And
Gabe had such a larger than life presence. Like, he was a special human being. All right, who is your BMX Mount Rushmore, Kelly Bolton?
Oh shit. I haven't really thought too much about it, but it's hard to say, because like, again, I feel like in my life there's compartments of bikes.
More specifically, think of the Mount Rushmore of BMX riders that had the biggest influence on you in regards to freestyle.
Okay. Let's see. I'd say probably for sure Dave Mirra.
Dave who? Just kidding.
Yeah, Dave who. Yeah, Mirra number one for sure. Like, you can't knock that. I would say Colin Winkleman for sure. Back in the day, just had my number from day one. And then probably I just always admired Doyle.
Fuck yeah.
Like, Doyle was the king for sure. Like, I mean, that's when I learned that I was 360ing the wrong way.
Nice.
I watched him, and I'm like, wait, he's right foot forward and goes this way and does trucks and like work. And I'm like, so like, yeah, but Doyle was a huge influence for sure on me.
Yep.
And then, a million other people. Like I could obviously say Edwin too for street riding.
You got one more spot. Are you going to say Edwin?
Do I have one more spot? No, I don't.
You said three in that four. You said Mirra, Winkleman, Doyle. Yeah,
Doyle. That's top. Yeah. So it's top four?
Yeah, Mount Rushmore is 4. Oh,
that's right. Rushmore is 4 heads. All right. Yeah, well, let's go with Edwin. Edwin was a huge inspiration to me. Like, fuck, man. I watched his video parts nonstop. And again, I'm like the park guy, but I just have so many of these influences from other worlds. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
and growing up in LA where it's just basically street is weird to be a park dude.
for real.
And all my friends and like Barney and Maron and Skylar and all these dudes that used to, like, if you watch Props LA Scene Report, you'll see all those guys.
Well,
And
let's watch
and
LA Scene Report.
I have the last clip, but that's the only clip of me. It's just one clip in the end. Thanks, Glenn, for putting me in the end.
Props Los Angeles Scene Report.
Yeah. But man, all these dudes were like hardcore street. They didn't ride ramps. They didn't do any of that. But we
Yeah.
all hung out. You know, we all went down to the freaking Del Taco and chilled out for hours in the parking lot. And
Well, yeah, we'll
Mirra right there.
we'll watch this while we wrap her up. What do you think your advice to like a 14-year-old who's really who has all the BMX dreams?
Oh, that's a good question, man. I think first and foremost is do it because you love it. That's the BMX way. If you don't love it completely, you will get burnt out and you won't want to do it anymore because it's tough. It's a slog sometimes. It's rough. You're sleeping on floors a lot. You know what I mean? It's a hard life technically, but it's also, I like the way I say it, because people always ask like, oh, you're on DC, you probably made crazy money, which I did. Like I made good money, but it wasn't crazy money in the world's perspective.
Right.
And I say I was rich in experience, like going to Germany, going to Barcelona, going to France. Like, sure, there was times where I'm telling the lady at the baggage claim, I can't afford to pay for my bike to get shipped. Like, if you don't let me put this bag on the thing, I'm going to throw the bike in the trash and get on the plane.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Or like, I don't have enough money to get a cab to the airport, you know, like, so it's rough, but if you do want to ride BMX, you have to love it.
Yeah. And the relationships and experiences are worth it.
Worth it. 100% worth it. Definitely. I will say that the probably last advice I'd give to somebody like that is have a backup plan.
Yeah. Get a job.
Something afterwards. You know what I mean? Like BMX is not forever.
Yeah.
It can be forever as far as a lifestyle and the way you want to be. But as far as income and making money, and you know, now I have a daughter and a wife, and you know, it's a lot different now. So
you're a great example of like transitioning after and still riding, but I know you're doing well. Like it's cool to see.
Well, it's like, again, I think it's just loving it, right? It's like, you want to do it. And I still want to ride. And I would still honestly love to push myself harder.
Yeah.
But I can't, you know what I mean? Like I can't.
The risk reward is like not there.
Oh my God.
This is a fucking trip to watch, dude. Like I remember this style of biking so hard with the tall tees and the fucking People hard, Smith hard. It's pretty wild.
Castillo's in there, dude.
Yeah. This is awesome.
There's Banton. That's crazy to watch.
If you could wave a magic wand and get rid of a trick, nobody will ever do this trick again. What trick do you hate?
Pull-up bars.
Nice. Yeah, fuck them pull-up bars, too.
I just, you know, it's a thing, whatever, but it's like a party trick.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a silly trick. And then a little kid learns it and he's like, yeah, doing it everywhere. And it's like, no, stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it right now.
For sure, the pull-up bar thing, it's not the greatest for me.
That's good.
And I always bar spun like realistically with no hands.
Oh, hell yeah.
You know what I mean? Like no busting. Like it's throw them and let it fly and see what happens.
What's the one that got away? What's the trick you like almost got or never tried or?
I have a couple in my head that I've never tried, which I've always wanted to. One is like wall ride vertically to flip Fakey.
Oh shit.
I've
Yeah.
never done that, but I always looked at it or thought about it. There's boy.
There's
Yeah,
boy.
And then another one that I've always wanted to try, which I need a specific setup for, would be to go up a ramp that has a U out with like a little lip to like flat or something.
Mm-hmm.
So you could jump in, flip Fakey, and then Fakey front flip flare, but land straight.
Oh fuck.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Or even just don't even have to flip
front flip
Fakey.
180.
Just go up Fakey and then front flip 180 and land straight.
That would be wild.
I think that kid Carl Immers or something like that, he's done something similar, but he hadn't done that one. But
that's awesome.
I think he did a front flip to Fakey over like a bump. It was pretty wild.
Oh, I can't even fucking picture it right now.
We went Fakey up to like a roller and did a front flip and landed Fakey. Just kept going.
That's sick, dude. What the fuck?
Crazy.
And we got Barney here.
Barney,
I was gonna skip to your clips at the end, but you can't skip.
It's just one clip.
Yeah. Okay.
I filmed a couple clips. I think I filmed probably 10 or 11 clips, and
they used one.
And it was just one. And it was funny too because like I just felt so out of place. Like,
bro, these are fire clips of Barney. It's crazy.
Dude, Barney's so good, man. He won't admit it, but he's fantastic.
Yeah, sweet Barney.
Solid.
He's the one. He's definitely the one who gave me the Freecoasters in 2007, 2008.
Barney has hooked up more people than you could imagine.
Yeah, dude, he's like the unsung hero. He's the quiet man. He's the Batman.
He really is.
He's the Batman.
You need to do a podcast with him because he really is like a behind the scenes unsung hero. Like, yeah, he's been in the scene, of course, and he's had magazine photos and has coverage, but like he's behind the scene, man. He's just helped so many riders. It's crazy. And he's helped me my whole career, of course, too. Like, and I got to say a shout out to like Nuno and Bauer at Odyssey. They also really helped me out back in the day. They would give me wheels and all kinds of stuff. Like really, really grateful to them.
That's amazing.
But it's definitely my clip in here is, you'll see it. It's different than everyone else. And it kind of doesn't really fit with the vibe, but
you're in there, baby.
I'm in there. Again, thanks to Glenn for including me in this.
This is Glenn's work here.
This is filmed, I think, by REA, and then there's Glenn's clips are in here, but I think a lot of these like Skylar and them, they're all like Culver City dudes. They were all shooting with REA, and it was just like a combination of a bunch of different filmers that, you know, sent clips in to Glenn, and Glenn edited the whole thing.
Nice.
So I think my clip is right after, somewhere around there. It is.
Yeah, there he is. Hey, that's street.
Street.
You're fucking right, dude. It's insanely different than the rest.
It's insanely different than anyone else's clips, and it doesn't fit in like a street style edit with like white big baggy tees. You know, like,
Glenn's going, yeah. Well, you know, man, it's street.
I think it was one of, if not one of the first street flares.
Fuck yeah.
So, and I had looked at that roof for a long time, and I'm like, I gotta fucking do this thing.
I love it. Any last words?
I'm
not killing you. I'm just ending the podcast.
No. Last words are for my life. What can I say? I know. I'm just, I guess, just grateful to, like, again, all those people that helped me. Bob at staff, and Mike and John at Eastern, and Lee Ramsdale. Man, he's like been my guy for so long. I love Lee so much, and Banton and Barney, and like it proves the point that you can't do anything by yourself.
True.
Right? You need to have good friends and rely on people sometimes, and it's okay to ask for help, you know, if you need some help. So
that's great advice. All right, well, fucking thank you for coming on. I'd really like to, seriously, we'll do another one soon where we don't talk about bikes. We talk about your business.
Yeah, we'll talk about business, talk about clients, talk about
Yeah.
graphics and all that good stuff, and maybe a
I'd
little
like
bit
to-
about my time in entertainment.
How does one become an agency owner? But save that for next time. Tune in next time for Kanode. All right.
Hard and long process. It could become your own business owner.
Yeah, I am technically my own right now, but I'm very bad at it, and I could learn a thing or two from you. But anyway,
we all learn. I'm learning still. So
thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next week on the Kanode Knows podcast.